The champagne flute shattered against the marble floor of the grand ballroom, but no one noticed amid the laughter and clinking glasses. No one except me. I stood there, my hand trembling from the force of my sister's slap. Not a physical one, but the kind that stings deeper, the kind that echoes in your soul. "You're not eating tonight, fatty," Elena had hissed, her perfect bridal smile twisting into something venomous as she snatched the plate from my hands. The roast beef, the delicate asparagus spears, the golden potatoes, all of it tumbled into the trash bin she'd dragged over like it was nothing. Our parents, standing just behind her, nodded in silent approval, their eyes averted as if I were a stain on the pristine white tablecloth. The wedding guests swirled around us in a haze of silk and tuxedos, oblivious, while my world narrowed to the sharp metallic taste of blood from biting my tongue too hard. Humiliation burned hotter than any fever, and in that moment, I swore I'd make them taste it too. I retreated to the shadows of the venue, a sprawling estate on the outskirts of our coastal town, where the ocean's roar competed with the live band's jazz melodies. The air was thick with a scent of salted sea breeze mixed with floral arrangements, roses and lilies that now smelled like decay to me. My dress, a modest navy blue I'd chosen to blend in, clung to my skin from the sweat of suppressed rage. Elena, my older sister by 3 years, had always been the golden child. Slim, ambitious, the one who landed the high-powered job in finance, and the charming fiancé, Marcus, whose family owned half the town. Me. I was Lila, the troubled one, the artist who scraped by on freelance illustrations, the one who'd gained weight after Dad's affair shattered our family a decade ago. Comfort eating, they called it. Laziness, Elena whispered behind my back. As I leaned against a cold stone pillar, watching the dance floor light up with fairy lights, fragments of the evening replayed in my mind like a glitchy film reel. The ceremony had been flawless. Elena in her lace gown, veil billowing like a sail, vowing eternal love to Marcus under a canopy of twinkling stars. I'd smiled through it all, clutching my bouquet of wilting peonies, ignoring the pitying glances from relatives who remembered me as the chubby kid at family gatherings. But dinner, that was when the mask slipped. I'd loaded my plate sparingly, mindful of the eyes on me, but Elena cornered me at the buffet line. "Lila, darling," she'd said loudly enough for nearby aunts to hear, "you know what the doctor said about your condition?" Her voice dripped with false concern, but her eyes sparkled with malice. Mom stepped in, her pearl necklace glinting under the chandeliers. "She's right, honey. We don't want you regretting it tomorrow." Dad, ever the peacemaker or coward, mumbled, "It's for your own good." And just like that, they formed a united front, Elena dumping my food while they watched, their faces etched with that familiar mix of disappointment and relief, as if enforcing this cruelty absolved them of past sins. Heartbreak clawed at my chest, a raw, aching void. How had we gotten here? Growing up, Elena and I shared secrets under blanket forts, giggling about boys and dreams. But after Dad's affair with his secretary, exposed when I was 15, everything fractured. Mom forgave him too quickly. Elena sided with them to preserve the facade of our perfect family, and I became the scapegoat, the one who acted out by gaining weight and retreating into art. Resentment had simmered in me for years, but tonight it boiled over. I fantasized about screaming, about flipping the cake table and watching the tears of vanilla sponge smash into sugary ruin. But no, I held back, my mind already spinning threads of something darker, more calculated. Revenge wasn't a shout. It was a whisper, building in the quiet. I slipped outside to the terrace, the cool November wind whipping my hair, carrying the faint crash of waves from the cliff below. The estate's gardens stretched into darkness, dotted with lanterns that cast long, eerie shadows. My phone buzzed, a text from my best friend Sarah. "How's the wedding?" "Surviving." I typed back, fingers numb. "Barely. They humiliated me again." Her reply was instant. "Come over after. We'll plot their downfall." A bitter laugh escaped me. Plotting. Yes, that's what I needed. Not impulsive rage, but a plan. Doubt crept in. Were they really that bad, or was I overreacting? Elena had her stresses. The wedding cost a fortune, and Marcus's family expected perfection. Mom and Dad, They were just trying to help, in their twisted way. But no, the mockery in Elena's voice, the agreement in their eyes. It was deliberate, a power play to keep me small. Back inside, the toasts began. Marcus's father droned on about legacy and family bonds, his voice booming through the speakers. I nursed a glass of water. Alcohol would only fuel the fire, and observed them from afar. Elena laughed at something Mom said. Her hand on Dad's arm, the picture of unity. But I knew the cracks. Elena's secret gambling habit, racking up debts Marcus didn't know about. Mom's pill dependency after the affair. Dad's lingering guilt that manifested in overcompensation. Secrets I'd uncovered over years of being the invisible one, eavesdropping on hushed arguments. Obsession gripped me now. What if I used those? Exposed them? The thought sent a thrill of cold resolve through me, mingled with guilt. They were family. Blood. But blood could betray, and tonight it had. As the night wore on, the dance floor filled with swaying couples. Elena pulled Marcus into a spotlight waltz, her gown swirling like a ghost. I approached the family table, testing the waters. Great party, I said flatly, sitting down. Mom forced a smile. Isn't it? Elena looks radiant. Dad cleared his throat. You okay, kiddo? The nickname grated, a remnant of better days. Fine, I lied, my voice steady despite the storm inside. Just hungry. Elena overheard, gliding over with Marcus in tow. Oh, Lila, still on about that. It's called discipline. Her laugh was light, but her eyes dared me to push back. Marcus shifted uncomfortably, avoiding my gaze. He'd always been kind but spineless. Maybe we can get you something light, he suggested. Elena shot him a glare. No, she's fine. Right, parents. They nodded again, and that was the breaking point. Humiliation morphed into obsession as I excused myself to the bathroom, locking the door behind me. The mirror reflected a woman I barely recognized. Eyes red-rimmed, jaw set in determination. Fantasies flooded, slipping something into their drinks, whispering Elena's debts to Marcus's ear. But no, too crude. Revenge needed finesse, time to marinate. I splashed water on my face, the cold shock grounding me. Fear whispered, what if it backfired? What if I became the monster? But resentment drowned it out. They'd mocked me publicly. I'd dismantle them privately. The reception dragged on, each toast a nail in my resolve. By midnight, as guests departed in a flurry of hugs and air kisses, I lingered. Elena hugged me goodbye, her perfume cloying. Thanks for coming, sis. Try to, take care of yourself. The condescension fueled me. In the car ride home with Sarah, who'd picked me up to avoid the family awkwardness, I vented. They treated me like garbage. Sarah gripped the wheel, her knuckles white. What are you going to do? I stared at the passing streetlights, shadows dancing on the dashboard. Make them regret it. Doubt flickered, was this me? The quiet artist. But the plan coalesced. Start small, gather evidence, strike when they least expected. The next weeks blurred into a haze of quiet calculation. My apartment, a cluttered studio overlooking the harbor, became my war room. Sketches of whimsical illustrations gave way to notes on Elena's finances. I'd hacked her email years ago during a fight, never deleted the access. There it was, emails from creditors, hidden from Marcus. Mom's pharmacy records, pilfered from Dad's desk during a family dinner. Dad's old affair texts, saved on an ancient phone I'd found in the attic. Guilt gnawed at me each night, staring at the ceiling as waves lapped outside. Was I justified? Or obsessed? Heartbreak revisited in dreams, reliving the wedding slap, the trash bin, the nods. Anger propelled me forward. Subtle hints emerged. I accidentally forwarded an innocuous email to Marcus about wedding costs, planting seeds of doubt about Elena's spending. At a post-wedding brunch, I mentioned offhand to Mom, I hope Elena's okay with all that debt talk I overheard. Her face paled, tension crackling. Dialogue revealed cracks. Dad cornered me later, whispering, Don't stir trouble, Lila. We're family. His plea stoked my rage. Family. Where was that at the wedding? Suspense built slowly. Elena called, voice edged. What are you playing at? Feigned innocence. Nothing, sis. Just worried. Inside, cold resolve hardened. Moral conflict raged. They deserved it, but at what cost to me? Planning consumed me. Anonymous tips to Marcus's firm about Elena's habits. A leaked prescription to Mom's social circle. Fear of exposure loomed, but resentment won. By month's end, cracks showed. Marcus questioned Elena about finances. Arguments echoed through family calls. Mom's friends whispered. Dad grew distant. My inner thoughts warred. Satisfaction mixed with guilt. Was this justice or destruction? The slow burn intensified. Each day a step toward the inevitable. The anonymous letter arrived at Marcus's office on a rainy Tuesday, postmarked from a town 2 hours away. My careful misdirection. Inside, printouts of Elena's gambling statements, circled in red ink with a note. She'll drag you down. I watched from afar, parked across the street in Sarah's borrowed car, rain pattering on the windshield like accusatory fingers. My heart pounded, a mix of exhilaration and terror. This was it, the pivot from planning to action. Obsession had evolved into cold resolve, but doubt lingered. What if he confronted her? What if she traced it back? The wipers swished rhythmically, mirroring my racing thoughts. Humiliation from the wedding replayed, fueling me. They deserved this unraveling. Marcus emerged hours later, face thunderous, clutching the envelope. He drove straight to their new home, a sleek condo overlooking the bay, lights twinkling like distant stars through the downpour. I followed at a distance, parking in shadows, binoculars fogging from my breath. Through the window, silhouettes argued. Elena gesturing wildly, Marcus pacing. Soundless, but the tension was palpable, a cinematic storm building. Guilt twisted in my gut. Marcus was innocent, collateral in my war. But he'd stood by at the wedding silent. No one was blameless. That night, alone in my studio, the harbor winds howling, I paced the creaky wooden floors. Sketches of vengeful figures littered the table, my art channeling the chaos inside. Inner conflict raged. You're no better than them, a voice whispered. But resentment countered. They broke you first. Sleep evaded me. Dreams fractured by visions of Elena's mocking smile shattering like glass. Morning brought a call from Mom, voice trembling. Lila, something's wrong. Marcus left Elena last night. Feigned shock masked my triumph. What happened? She hesitated, the line crackling with unspoken secrets. Some letters, accusations. Elena swears it's lies. Suppressed rage bubbled in her tone. Directed at me? Paranoia set in. I met Dad for coffee at our old spot, a quaint diner by the docks where seagulls cried overhead and the air smelled of fried fish and brine. He looked haggard, gray stubble shadowing his jaw. Family's falling apart, he muttered, stirring his mug endlessly. Dialogue cut deep. You know anything about this, kiddo? His eyes searched mine, pleading. I sipped my latte, heart aching. Why would I? Lie smooth as silk. He sighed. After the wedding. You were upset. Understatement. Fury flared inwardly. Upset? They'd gutted me publicly. But I played innocent, planting more seeds. Maybe Elena's past caught up. His flinch confirmed suspicions. He knew about the gambling. Suspense thickened like fog rolling in from the sea. Elena texted. We need to talk. Now. I agreed to meet at the estate where the wedding had been. Poetic, I thought. The drive there, winding coastal roads slick with recent rain, mirrored my twisting emotions. Arrival brought sensory overload. The ballroom empty now, echoes of laughter ghosting the air, faint floral scent lingering like a bad memory. Elena waited on the terrace, wind tousling her hair. No longer the radiant bride but a woman frayed at the edges. You did this, she accused, voice low and venomous. No preamble. Feigned confusion. Did what? She stepped closer, eyes blazing. The letters. The leaks about Mom's pills. You're destroying us. Heartbreak in her tone, but layered with anger. Believable raw. Why would I? My voice cracked intentionally, masking resolve. She laughed bitterly. Because you're jealous. Always have been. The wedding was just the trigger. Truth stung, but I countered. You humiliated me. Threw away my food like I was trash. And they agreed. Tears welled in her eyes. First crack in her armor. It was a joke. Tough love. We both knew it. The confrontation escalated, wind whipping our words. You think you're the victim, she snarled. After Dad's affair, you ballooned up, embarrassed us all. Rage surged. I nearly struck her. Instead, cold words. And you covered for him, pretended we were perfect. While I carried the pain. Moral grayness hit, her motivations. Fear of losing the family facade, her own insecurities. But betrayal ran deep. She grabbed my arm, desperate. Stop this. Please. Fear in her plea, heightening tension. Pulled away. Too late. Leaving adrenaline course through me. The plan accelerated. Next, exposed Dad's lingering ties to his old mistress. Photos I'd found in his study. Anonymous email to Mom. Guilt intensified. This could shatter her. But poetic justice beckoned. Days blurred. Whispered family calls, Elena's pleas turning to threats. I'll ruin you too, she texted. Obsession peaked. Nights staring at evidence files, doubting, then recommitting. Climax brewed at a forced family dinner, orchestrated by Dad in a bid for peace. Our childhood home, walls echoing old arguments, smelled of Mom's overcooked lasagna, a facade of normalcy. Table set with fine china, candlelight flickering shadows like omens. Dialogue dripped tension, Mom pills making her slurry. We need to unite. Elena glaring at me. Some of us are trying. Dad. No accusations tonight. But cracks surfaced. Marcus had filed for divorce. Elena's job teetered from stress leave. Mid-meal my phone buzzed. An alert I'd set. The email to Mom sent. She checked hers absent-mindedly, face draining of color. What is this? She whispered, showing Dad the photos. Chaos erupted. Dad stammered denials. Old news. Elena turned on him. You said it was over. Mom shattered a plate, sobs racking her. I sat silent, feigning shock, inner turmoil churning. Satisfaction laced with horror. Had I gone too far? The twist unfolded swiftly. As accusations flew, Elena cornered me in the kitchen, away from the fray. I know it was you, she hissed. But then her voice softened, breaking. I set it up. The wedding thing. To push you away. Confusion hit. What? She confessed, tears streaming. After the affair, I blamed you for not keeping quiet. Thought if I made you the problem, we'd stay together. But it was me. I started gambling to cope, hid it all. Layered motives revealed. Her own guilt projected onto me. Heartbreak anew. My sister broken too. In that moment resolve cracked. Revenge tasted ashen. I could stop, but momentum carried. Mom stormed in, eyes wild. You did this, Lila? All of it. Denial futile. Evidence pointed back through sloppy trails I'd left. Dad joined, family united against me now. But the shocking twist, as police were called, Elena claiming harassment, Sarah arrived, uninvited. Wait, she said, producing recordings. Lila didn't act alone. I helped. Because they deserved it. No betrayal reversed. Sarah, my confidant, had her own grudge. Elena had bullied her in school, stolen her boyfriend years ago. Pandemonium. Sarah's evidence included more. Proof Dad's affair never ended. Mom's pills were for deeper addictions. The family imploded not from my revenge, but from truths long buried. I stood amid the ruins, emotions swirling. Relief, guilt, unexpected catharsis. Poetic justice. Or mutual destruction. In the aftermath, as authorities sorted the mess, I walked to the harbor. waves crashing like applause. Resentment faded, replaced by hollow resolve. Revenge had consumed us all, but in the end, it freed me, from the past. The family, fractured beyond repair. And me, finally full on my own terms.